talk to us is the new executive mayor of Mogale City, where we'll be just breaking down his appointment and what we can expect from the new mayor. How are you, Mr. Mayor?
Well, it's
Good, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. And congratulations on your appointment to be the first citizen of the country, of the city rather, of the city Majoro. So before we go any further, how does it feel to be in the hot seat?
I'm overwhelmed, but at the same time, I'm very humbled by the responsibility that I'm given to lead a collective in the city to better the lives of the people of Mogale City.
And in a nutshell, who is David Thupane?
Well, a young boy who was born in the province, went to a place notoriously known as Osu or Province, a political activist from the 1980s, specifically 1985, through the Municipal Youth Congress and so forth. When the ANC clique was unveiled, I joined the league and served in various structures of the league. At some point in the REC and so forth. I led the Greater Cllr Youth Council, but in the municipality, I was elected a PR councillor in the year 2000, and I served also in the district with legends such as Sister Thupane, Advocate Mogale, who are my predecessors in the position. And in a nutshell, that's what happened.
So you did mention that you're part of the ANC youth.
Yes.
Right, when you started.
And the ANC itself.
And the ANC itself.
Yes.
Talking about that, why did you leave the ANC and move over to the African Transformation Movement?
Look, the main challenge relates to implementation plan. The ANC has all the beautiful and most wonderful policies and rules. However, it lacks when it comes to implementation. Take, for instance, the issue on land restitution. We've been found lacking on that part. So I believe that it's time to move on to a new movement where I believe that maybe implementation will be a thing that guides the movement.
Okay. Now, during the DA-led coalition, you were part of the NACOM.
That's correct.
Then the coalition was removed.
Yes.
Then you became mayor.
Yes.
Why were you selected to become the mayor of Mogale City?
I think my predecessor is best suited to answer that question, but I believe it's my capabilities, I'm told.
Yes. Your capabilities?
Yes.
Can you elaborate?
Well, I think I've earned my stride wherever I've been, whether in council at Salgal, organized local government level. I've made my contribution positively, which was much appreciated, and I've earned several awards in that regard.
Okay. All right. Now, since your acceptance speech, have you managed to hit the ground running with your team to get the work done? And what has been done thus far?
Still early days, I must say, but I believe that we are making strides to achieve those objectives that were set out in the statement outlining what the policy objectives would be for the city.
Okay. So, can you just maybe mention just one thing that you know is like an issue, burning issue in Mogale City that you can say, okay, so far we know that this has been happening and we already started working on that?
Well, we've been, I've been part of this administration. Part of the things are legacies of the outcome administration. But since I was part, I know, especially on the level of human settlement, we are delivering about 17 houses per month at the Brick Valley mega project, which is situated in Thupane. We resuscitated the Dr. Cllr project, which was long-standing from 2006 when Mayor Serrani was still here, as well as Dr. Mogale. And we are ahead in terms of making sure that we formalize informal settlements and make pursue the rapid land release program to accommodate people who are homeless.
Talking about the formalization of informal settlements, if I'm not mistaken, I think to be corrected, like just in Mogale City, we have about 87 informal settlements.
That's correct.
How much does it cost to formalize an informal settlement?
It depends on the quantum of the work that needs to be done,
Okay.
and the size of the informal settlement.
Okay.
We have a challenge now of inflating what we call influx, because people hear that there's going to be formalization and location of status. However, what we need to say is that it's not everybody's cup of tea, because we have surveyed the area and have a database of those who need to benefit in the program. So people who are coming late, not being on the database, are going to be left in the lurch.
Now, does the city have the kind of money to formalize the informal settlement?
No, we do not rely on the support from the province and national spheres of government.
Okay.
Yeah, but already they've supported us in terms of all the studies we do, ROPs and township planning and establishment.
Okay.
That has been dealt with. We are expecting funding so that we can roll out the program.
All right. Still on the issue of the informal settlement, now most, and people can argue to say in these informal settlements, mostly foreign, citizens or even illegal, immigrants coming through to stay in the city. Now, if you guys formalize the settlement, how are you guys planning to ensure that the right people stay there? As much as you say, look, we've got a lot of South Africans that are only homes, they're staying in informal settlements, they've applied for RTP, they've been skipped in lines, and so forth and so forth. So how will the city ensure that the right people are able to be in that area? As much as now we've got issues whereby most South Africans are saying that they are being skipped in the queue. Money talks, and if you don't have money, then you're unable to get your RTP household and so forth. So how are you guys going to make sure that the right people get to be formalized? Because obviously with the formalization of an informal settlement, then there's a hope of that houses will be built.
Money talks. That's a sophisticated way of not corruption, what I call criminality. In the event that we find someone engaging in those activities, certainly we will take them to the Cllr. They will be in orange overalls as soon as they are convicted. So we will not tolerate corruption in the city. However, in respect of the illegal immigrants issue, we have established a relationship with the Department of Home Affairs to make sure that when we allocate people who are South Africans qualifying. If they are legal foreigners, in terms of South African statutes, we are welcoming to our brothers from Africa and elsewhere. Those who follow due process and the laws of the country will be accommodated. However, those who do not qualify, whether they are foreigners or not, will not be accommodated in the program. There are laws in the country, and that will follow to the latter.
All right. We shall follow through and see how that goes. Mr. Mogale City has got a lot of issues.
Correct.
A lot of issues.
Okay.
And one of them being the issue of electricity. There's still areas, places in the area that don't have electricity, like your Vanderbilt, Ward 12, Chief Mogale. What's the plan there? Because they're citing transformers, doing this, there's many issues, many stories. So I just have to clarify for you, what is the story behind those areas not having electricity, and what is the plan moving forward to ensure that those people do have electricity?
Look, the coverage of supply and distribution of or reticulation of electricity in the city is divided into two. There are sections in the city which are electricity is supplied by ESCOM, and there are sections where the electricity is supplied by the city. So where electricity is supplied by the city, we make enough budget available in the forthcoming financial year, which was approved 2 days ago, to make sure that we cover those areas where we are responsible for supplying electricity. And we've established also through the Premier's Forum a committee that's going to look at the electrification of those areas that are covered by ESCOM. So we are on it.
Okay. Time frames?
I wouldn't want to commit now. We are still looking, we are coordinating. Remember, the President has made a policy statement, and now we are yet to attach time frames and so on. However, I believe that will be done speedily.
I know you just knew in the position, but however you were in the committee or were NMC of Human Settlement.
Correct.
Before then, what was done when we were still the NMC? Like, what were steps that you taken? Because others have been going on for about a year. without electricity, you know, what have you guys been doing besides you being mayor now? But as MMC, what were steps taken to ensure or to push, whether it's ESCOM, whether it's the city, to ensure that those people do have electricity?
We are supported by the Electricity Crisis Committee in Kagiso, to push ESCOM to expedite the program of electrification of the city. However, you note the kind of problems or challenges that ESCOM has. There's a serious cash flow and balance sheet challenges that needs to be taken, for which cognizance needs to be taken into account. So, I think it is not going to be an overnight thing because of the humongous challenges that we have as a country now. But we are steadfast.
All right, just one more question with regards to that. What was the problem with ESCOM? What did they say the problem was? Why could they not provide electricity? Besides them saying they don't have money, what else?
In certain areas, especially in areas such as Chief Mogale, times found that the supply of transformers has been a challenge. As it stands, the levels of vandalism. ESCOM has to go back and rectify areas where there's been vandalism and so on, overloading, explosion of transformers and so on. So they've got that double-edged sword in rolling out the program of electrification. But if we believe that through the interventions that are made by the Premier in respect of crime prevention, we will see the levels of vandalism of infrastructure dropping drastically.
Okay. Now, water seems to be another issue in Mogale City. Water coming from underground. We've got houses that are waterlogged in Swanepoel. We've got water in some parts of the Kagiso cemetery. Some the graveyards that are immersed in water. Let's start with the Swanepoel one, the houses. What's the plan there? What has been the plan there? Where are the families, and how is the city assisting those families?
We've been there, have seen how catastrophic the situation is in Swanepoel. I've been there several times, I've had meetings there, and we agreed with the councillors there and members of the community that those who are where the water is posing immediate threats to their lives, we are going to relocate them to Pretoria. We made houses available. I believe, according to information that I get for the new NMC for human settlements, that agreement has been now effected. We've taken the details of those who are going to be relocated, who are affected directly, and we are going to relocate them to Pretoria in their completed houses to accommodate them, whilst we are seeking the solution to make sure that we deal with the water that is in the pan. It does not have an overflow, so it's like a lake which has no outlet. So, and it also has disabled completely the pump station for Sulu in Swanepoel. When people flush, everything goes back into the house. So that's the kind of challenge. And I've said to the MEC for Cllr, that is corporate governance, that this thing is beyond the city. Because Cllr, there's even a school in Thupane Villages, city of Johannesburg, that is submerged. I've instructed the office to make contact with the office of the mayor, Mayor Kwamanda in Johannesburg, so that we have a joint thing, and then, if possible, get the national minister to declare that thing a national disaster, because it is huge.
Now, I understand it's 83 families, 86 affected, I could be mistaken. Where are those families now, Mr. Mayor?
They've sought assistance from their neighbors and so on, but some of them have already been allocated to areas such as Borwa and still in our sister municipalities in the district. The 22 that we're talking about now are in the process of being relocated to Pretoria.
And then will they be compensated in any form, shape, or size, or what will happen with them? Because obviously some of those, their hard work, I understand they're being moved. Then what? That area as well is declared as a national disaster. Like what do you guys think is going to be the plan? Because if that water is coming down, surely it's going to keep on moving in.
Receding. Look, I don't encourage human settlements on the other side of the reef,
Yes.
on top of the reef. You know, there is kind of irresponsible mining that happens there.
Sure.
All of that is acid mine training, which is decanting. It's the responsibility of the mines who mined there for over a century in forms that are very irresponsible, and they've left us. They've taken all the gold and the money, they've left now. We are remaining now with these challenges. And I don't encourage further developments where there's mine wasteland. Rather, we should take our people to where future economic opportunities are, like as it happens with the Cllr city, which is a smart city where jobs are going to be. Can't keep developing that side. So once we move those people there, there's no compensation because we are replacing the houses that's the thing that they're losing.
Yeah.
But we will see from our end what are the damages from things such as furniture, your necessities.
Yes.
Then we will see as a city what is it that we can do to the extent possible.
Okay. With regards again to that, because we find that people put themselves in wetlands, put themselves where they're not supposed to put themselves. Is there a new strategy that the city is setting
It's
on?
us actually. I don't know who, but I was not part, but you know I'm a successor in law, I must take
Yes.
responsibility.
True.
But those who were in charge at the time took irresponsible and illegal decisions, because if you go there, you can see that it's no place for people to live because of the climate and all the slime dams, and it poses risk for children. It's not an environment in which people can live. So it's my desire that the council that I need, I have the opportunity to live in the honor, takes responsible decisions of locating our people next to or in places, in areas where there's a conducive environment for human habitation.
Yes.
So yeah, I hope I will get that by you.
Okay. Talk about that. When you're on your way to Randfontein, I think that's Sunnyville area, right? There's shacks right now coming up, and they're moving closer towards the border of Randfontein with the illegal, the dumping site for
Encroaching on Johannesburg as well.
What's happening there? Because again, we will be encountering another issue whereby now there is also sicknesses and all, because they're quite close to the dumping site. So what are the cities doing in collaboration to make sure, ensuring that the citizens are safe, regardless whether they're informal or whether they are South Africans or illegal? Because a life is a life at any point.
I took the tour there.
Yes.
It's scary.
It is.
And it's sprawling at a very alarming rate. But I must tell you that that's mining land.
Yes.
And thus far, I'm informed or told that the mine has a court order to evict those people. And it remains solely their responsibility to deal with that. Yeah. And then let's cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's not jump the car. Let's see what happens after the evictions.
Okay, all right. We shall be watching and catching up on that issue again as it comes around. The Council Cemetery has been an issue. It's been a topic for a very long time. Families it's just trying to contact every media house they can because they feel that the city is not doing enough. Obviously there's been the issue of this man's in, this man's out, and he's back and then he's out again. And now you as the new man, you've been in the position now for about 2 months, give or take. However, you were
on Sunday it will be 2 months.
2 months exactly. However, you've been within the administration. Like, what has been the plan? Do you know what's causing the water to come up?
We've appointed consultants to look at what the challenge is there. But once again, it's acid mine drainage, decanting, spatial draining of the past. People say don't continue to talk about apartheid, but these are the ramifications of that system, where we took people, place them in areas that are inhabitable once more. But we would like to have a close discussions with families that are affected, whose graves, whose loved ones are resting in those areas where now we're traveled by this acid mine drainage. What are the possible options? To what extent do they agree possible solutions, exhumations, and burial in places that are suitable for them to be able to receive their loved ones in their resting places. Yeah, we will be looking at all of those options. For now, I do not have a definite answer.
Okay. So for now, you haven't had the chance to speak to the engineers that were brought in, because the previous mayor did, mention that they brought in engineers to check out and the work is being started, to assess. Have you not had the opportunity to speak to those, surveyors, or you guys are planning on bringing your own surveyors to make sure that, get your own report?
Yeah. No, the past month was for the establishment of structures of the municipality. There are structures and so on.
Which took a while to get that to order.
When you've got coalition partners, we must appreciate that it's not easy.
Yeah.
Because people have different tastes about choices about how the city should be run, policies of different parties. So it's a horse trading arrangement, a serious one.
Okay.
That you've got to get this thing in a way that it's not going to compromise the relationship with your coalition partners. Because after all, nobody can claim to be governing the city. It's a coalition, and you must listen and be able to compromise. So, and all of that takes time. It is for that reason, but we believe that we've done nothing illegal. Within the time frame provided, we have appointed the mayoral committees, your oversight committees and your mayoral committee, your portfolio committees have now been established, and we are ready now to hit the ground running.
Okay. And only then we'll now be looking for engineers to go and check out the situation there and then start the process.
Yes.
So
we are looking at all possible prospects to make sure that we deal with these challenges that we have in the city, including the one that is in it.
Mr. Mayor, it's all good and well that you guys obviously are now, got structures formed and timelines. I know you cannot give a definite timelines, but as a family, if I put myself in the position to say, okay, maybe my loved one is laying there, I would like to know. We're talking 3 months, talking 6 months, talking a year. How long are we talking here?
Who knows? We've just passed the budget.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, 2 days ago.
Yes.
What's going to follow? The administration is busy now developing what we call service delivery implementation, budget implementation plans, which are specific, so to speak, in project management smart.
Okay.
Simple, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. That's where you are interested.
Yes.
All of those things in about 14 to 28 days I'll be signing.
Okay.
And then we will be having the pleasure of coming to the office and viewing. It will be even at the libraries on the website and everything.
Awesome.
And you can track us on that. What is it that you are doing? Are we working towards achieving those?
Yes.
If we are failing, you should come back again and give me the reasons for the variances.
All right. Exciting times ahead. Exciting times. Mr. Mayor, coalition.
Yeah.
Hey, they can be unpredictable.
Yeah.
And a bit shaky at times. And so tell me, just between you and me, who is the leader of this coalition? Who is running this?
Like I'm telling you, it's a marriage. It's a marriage of sorts, if you like.
Okay.
A partnership, collaboration. Choose whatever way you like. However, in a marriage, there's no senior person, if you would agree. Look, it's not about numbers. That's your crime. It's about the ability of compromising and reaching sufficient consensus on issues relating to service delivery, regardless of the numbers. Logic is logic. And we are 3 partners in this whole thing. If you want to say who is the leader, the leader is the executive mayor of the city.
Which is Thupane.
Yours truly.
Okay. And how are you managing your coalition law? I know it's been a short space of time, but so far.
We have a political management team consisting of the coalition partners.
Yes.
We meet on a weekly basis
to
look at matters of mutual interest and taking this forward.
Awesome. Mr. Mayor, is the city in a healthy financial status?
Not at all.
Not at all. And since the budget has been passed, has been agreed upon and passed,
Yes.
can you just briefly, take us through it?
Well, I don't want to talk too much about operational matters because those are both the various mobile things and which I believe were on top of our game.
Okay.
In that respect. But we will be rolling out massive infrastructure to give people in rural areas pipes, provide them with water, which will then strengthen our cash flow situation. Because we're spending a lot of money on tendering water to rural communities in the farms and so forth. Once we've got the infrastructure and we're able to reticulate water to our people through our infrastructure, not hiring trucks, which come at a hefty price, we will be able to see our cash flow not be compromised. We are assisting people in the western rural node of our rural areas in terms of sporting facilities. In Mogale, they are going to receive a sports complex worth 15 million rands, and the roads, you will see a difference now. Because when you drive, it's like you're driving on top of a corrugated iron. But we are busy on top of it. We will see, where there's a need to resurface, we're going to do that. But of course, we've got limited resources, I must say. It will take time, but yeah, you'll see a difference during the course of the new financial year, commencing on the 1st of July.
Okay. So you saying that obviously the financial since what's the plan of the city to make sure that the city gets to where it needs to be financially? Obviously, there's also the issue of the 100 million loan.
Yeah.
Is that
It's not a loan per se.
An overdraft.
It's an
Overdraft.
Yeah. Something in the short term.
Yes.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
As you get money paid off.
All right. So the plan is to use that 100 million overdraft to get the things done.
Yeah, to get our cash flow
Get the cash
on
flow.
a sound footing, yes.
Okay. And then how you planning to collect revenue to ensure that you do collect revenue to make sure that you're able to pay back.
I've got the CFO who's come us. I get many people here who go 6 million and so on. People say no, what to make arrangements. They've been told before, pay your account or else you're cut.
Yes.
So they've been cut.
Okay.
They are knocking on my door every day, but I tell them I'm not going to interfere with administration applying credit control measures. Yeah. So we are on our way of financial recovery. One of the things I must say, if a bit you can say this piece, is that one of the sore point is ESCOM.
Yes.
We were told by the past administration that by April we would have finished paying ESCOM and so on. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a lie. Because we're owing ESCOM in excess of 260 million. Sure. They have threatened to go to court, and their prayer would be to attach the bank account of the city. It will be catastrophic for us. You and I don't want that because it will collapse sales delivery completely. Now, there's a scheme that is offered by the National Minister of Finance, and they were saying that if you can prove that you can pay your current account for some time, reduce only non-essentials, and show serious commitment that you are willing to pay, they will then consider writing off that debt. And we have applied, we've taken advantage of that scheme. We've submitted already our application, and we are making steps to ensuring that we comply with the condition of paying the current account. So once we've cleared that one, there should be more money coming into the municipality for use to render services.
In the case whereby the person gets switched off, or maybe a business gets switched off because they did not pay, they cannot pay, and they still cannot pay.
What is correct is that everybody pays almost everyone that they are indebted to. The last person in their mind is the municipality. Remember, we are run as a business.
True.
And we've got to make ends meet as well.
Yes.
So if we can break even, we take the necessary step like any other enterprise to collect what is due to us.
Again, going back to say, if I cut me off and I still cannot pay, and you say you're gonna And I've got nothing to offer.
Meaning you are liquidated.
Yeah, like I've got nothing to offer you. What are the other plans as a municipality going to put in place to make sure that you still recover some money? Because if there's 10 of us, we're still unable to pay, regardless what you do to us.
There are courts in this land. Go to court.
But I still can't pay. The fact is the municipality will still not have the money because 10 of us will still not pay you.
There are assets that you own.
I don't have anything. I've got a
Then
contract
that
for
will
10 rand.
No. There are assets, of course. If you run a business, what is a business without assets? It means that's not an enterprise. So, naturally, you expect every business to have assets, such as land, buildings, and so on. So those can be converted to cash, isn't it? So that's where our money is.
True, but I guess it depends on the business, but it's a topic for another day.
Tell me about those dependencies.
Topic for another day.
Yeah.